Putin doesn't want peace. It's obvious. And everybody complaining about Cracker Barrel is out of their heads. This has to stop. I'm Tony Katz. This is Tony Katz today. The Millennial V from Oliva. Let's start a show. Well, the raid on John Bolton's house, I did not expect. But I don't think that that's, surprising. How could anybody have expected such a thing? This would be a good time to have my Spanish Inquisition stuff, but nope, I don't have it. I'll get it later. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. For what reason are we now doing this? For what reason are we raiding the home of the former National Security Advisor? Bolton was not detained. Bolton has not been charged. This began at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, Friday, ordered by the director of the FBI, Kash Patel. This all according to the New York Post. They had the story from the beginning. Others have confirmed it, that this involves the handling of classified documents. Now, before we do anything, when it comes to classified documents, we overclassify freaking everything in the United States. Anybody could be handling classified documents. Know it, not know it, who knows? That said, it drives me crazy when people have classified documents, things that they're not supposed to have. It bothered me with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. It bothered me with Joe Biden and his garage and wherever else he had stuff. It bothered me with former Vice President Mike Pence. It's crazy. But two things can be true at the same time. That people are not paying attention and think that they're entitled to things, and we have an overclassifying issue. We classify too much stuff. And when it has to stop. Is that what happened? Was Bolton sharing the stuff? Was Bolton asked to return the stuff and didn't? That's a question. Was he asked to return everything and didn't? I don't know. I know that Trump doesn't like him. I know that Trump is convinced that he's just terrible. Said as much. I'll get to that. The Attorney General Pam Bondi is sharing a post saying America's safety isn't negotiable. Justice will be pursued always. Well, what does that mean? Kash Patel saying no one is above the law, FBI agents on mission. That was written before the raid was known about. Innocent until proven guilty. I know that there are people in MAGAville who hate John Bolton. I do not hate John Bolton. I could clearly see where Bolton's worldview does not align with Trump's worldview. I always thought it was wrong that Donald Trump, the president of the United States, took away the security from Bolton and from former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo regarding Iran and basically the fatwa on their heads. That was wrong. Wrong. I think that people doing interviews with Bolton just so he'll punch Trump in the face is also super weird. All that said, I am only interested in knowing whether or not the argument here is, the investigation here is, involving John Bolton and providing information to those he shouldn't be providing information to. If he had documents that he shouldn't have, well, that's wrong. If he is sharing those documents with people, I do not care how deep the hole is you throw him. Considering I'll go to jail if I don't file my taxes properly, I would think that sharing classified information should involve a whole bunch of jail and then some. But what this is about, I have absolutely no idea. None. And right now, with all of the investigatory work, all of the questions being asked, we don't have an answer. Meanwhile, John Bolton, while this is happening, he's tweeting out about other things. Like he could not care at all what was going on. Meanwhile, Trump is like, listen, the guy, totally unpatriotic, but that's all I know.
What he does, but he worked out great for me because every time he doesn't talk, he's like a very quiet person, except on television. If he could say something bad about Trump, he'll always do that. But he really doesn't talk. He's quiet. And I'd walk into a room with him with a foreign country, and the foreign country would give me everything because they said, "Oh no, they're going to get blown up because John Bolton's there." He's not a smart guy, but he could be a very unpatriotic guy. I mean, we're going to find out. I know nothing about it. I just saw it this morning. They did a raid.
Do you expect the DOJ to brief you on this?
Yeah, they'll brief me probably today sometime.
And the foreign minister.
I don't want. I tell Pam and I tell the group. I don't want to know, but just you have to do what you have to do. I don't want to know about it. It's not necessary. I could know about it. I could be the one starting it. I'm actually the chief law enforcement officer, but I feel that it's better this way.
The best is Trump is wearing a hat that says Trump was right about everything. Oh, gosh. I should have just been in the hat business. I should have just, oh my gosh. I don't know what Bolton did here. And that's just it. Nobody does. We don't know. So everyone take a breath and a beat. We have to find out. Now on cue, of course, comes the media saying, well, this is all just political.
And of course, MSNBC legal analyst. Ken, I want to start with you. I mean, you're out there. What do we know about exactly what's happening on the ground?
Well, Christina, what we know is what we've seen, which is FBI agents and FBI windbreakers and FBI polos going in and out of the house, bringing boxes inside the house, rearranging.
Windbreakers, polos. It's a fashion report from NBC.
Their unmarked vehicles. You see behind me, there are around 4 or 5 unmarked FBI vehicles in the driveway. They pulled an SUV up to the garage. We have not seen anybody that lives there. We don't think. Ambassador Bolton is not at home. We know that the FBI has been here since 7 in the morning, so they are pouring through material in the house. And typically in these kinds of searches, you have FBI agents, including perhaps the case agent in charge of the investigation, and also evidence technicians who are expert in searching and exploiting evidence.
Why not just say we don't know anything yet? Back to you. Because you don't. We don't know anything yet. But that's not going to stop Ken Dilanian and NBC from getting purely political.
Would normally seize digital devices and also papers. And look, the context here is really important. Number one, in the FBI to have gotten sign off on this search, they had to convince a magistrate judge that there was probable cause to believe that there was evidence of a crime in this house. And this has to be fresh evidence, not years old evidence related to Ambassador Bolton's book, which, you know, he wrote a book that was criticized about the Trump administration. But secondly, this is coming in an atmosphere where the FBI has been increasingly politicized. John Bolton is an ardent critic of Donald Trump.
Nothing was more politicized than Joe Biden's DOJ. And you don't know that that's the cause. It was so easy. I mean, guys, we didn't have to do any work on this at all. We knew from the word go that the ABCs, NBCs, CBSs, MSNBCs, CNNs would immediately engage the conversation that this was all political. MSNBC.
Susan, we have covered so many firsts when it comes to Donald Trump, but this does feel, as we heard Mary McCord talking about what it means to have a president who is saying that he's the real law enforcement authority, the real chief law enforcement officer in this country. It does feel like this is yet another norm broken in a real serious way.
What norm is broken? Was the norm broken when you raided Paul Manafort's house? Was the norm broken when you threw Roger Stone or Steve Bannon into jail. The norm's broken. This is an investigation. The FBI does them all the time. The FBI takes their weapons, puts them in your face, and says, we're looking at your stuff. I've never liked it. If FBI agents don't like what I have to say, that's not my concern. Hold on a second. Someone's knocking at my door right now. No norms were broken here. None. But yet this is their constant refrain. Over and over and over again. You'll note exactly how little they know, yet how much they're willing to say. I gave you, here are the details that we have. That's it. And of course, well, you can't have an expert without a mention of Epstein.
All right, let me follow up on that. You think you were questioning the timing of this and raising a possible connection to the turning over of some documents of Epstein files to your committee today?
Yeah, I think today is the first day that the DOJ has been required to comply with the subpoena. They said that they would start producing documents today. I'm concerned that they're going to slow walk that as well. But there's tremendous clamor for these documents and transparency as to these files. And as you know, both Donald Trump as well as Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, are trying to prevent that from happening. And they want to change the conversation.
And that's what you think this raid?
So boring. Wait a second. It was earlier this week that Taylor Swift announced her new album, and now we have a raid on John Bolton's home. I see the connection now. It's embarrassing. They don't stop. They don't rest. They don't quit. They don't care if they have the data or not. They don't care if they have the facts or not. They don't care that they lie to you. The objective is to gin people up because it has to be about hate 24/7, 365. It can't actually be about the thing and waiting to find out what happened. It's why these people are terrible. They're terrible. This is the representative from, I forget where he is from. I forget the state that he is from. It is Representative, I always get it wrong, Krishnamurthy. Well, I think that's going right. I think I got that one right. Awful. Nothing he said is true. He has no idea if this is connected to anything. It's as if the FBI doesn't do things all the time. For what reason was John Bolton's home investigated? We don't know. Could we wait to find out? Could we just wait to find out? These people suck. They're awful. They deserve every bit of derision they get. They don't care about the country. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about data. They don't care about facts. They care about, look at me. I'm the first on TV to say this. My gosh, I'm going to get 5 more likes on Twitter. Well, if that's the way you want to live your life, it's fine. But I'm telling you, that's a terrible way to live your life. Count me out. I'm Tony Katz, giving you actual information. This is Tony Katz Today. Oh, don't worry. I got the old lady rally sign. I got all that. Producer Landon has decided to all of a sudden produce the show. He's like, well, did you see this? Did you talk about this? I'm like, you just settle yourself down. Guys, good to be with you. Good to be with you. I will talk about the Dow. The winning is because of Jerome Powell. So from here, Otter Creek, to here. Just telling you what is. I will get to that as well. Ian Sam stuff, Russia and the U.S., and I've got a whole conversation with Major Michael Lyons. In the last 36 hours, what we have seen is that the summit meant nothing. We always understood that you can't trust Vladimir Putin. He proved it in the last 36 hours. Now what? That's where we are. I don't care if someone wants to say Trump's got this. Reality is reality. I have faith in Trump more than I would ever have faith in Biden or Kamala Harris. But Putin can't be trusted. Now what do you want to do? And maybe the first thing you want to do is you want to get a military back to a place where it can fight a 2.5 front war. Because it is here. We are on 2 fronts, and we better be ready. That's all I'm saying. Time to grow up and deal with the fact that the world is coming for you. And you better be able to go back at the world. Can't just be a defensive posture. Some people have noticed that the markets are just exceptional right now. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. Right? Some people get the podcast of this. So we're talking about Friday at around 12 p.m. Eastern time. And the markets were up over 900 points. Why in the world would the markets be up over 900 points? My gosh, this economy is on fire, and it's all because of Trump. The economy is not on fire. Let's start there. The Walmart story is really important for people paying attention and for people not paying attention. The story is that Walmart missed expectations, which is the first time since May of 2022. They don't miss. They have a pretty good understanding of their customer. They have a pretty good understanding of their pricing. They don't miss. But tariffs messes up everybody. And while they missed, they still took a look at their forecast and they're like, we're revising up. This is going to work. And what they're seeing is an increase in sales. Sales were up 4.6%. Why in the world are sales up? Well, sales are up for 2 reasons. And we brought this up a little bit yesterday. Let's dig in a little bit. Why would sales be up at Walmart? Walmart is a place of lower prices, actual and perceived. I don't think that if you were to take a look at pencils at Walmart and said, well, they're a penny less than pencils at Target, you would see that as anything close to a discount, a lower price that you would search out. But there is absolutely the feel that if you're in Walmart, you're getting a better price. So there is the perceived value and then there is an actual. If sales are up 4.6%, it means that more people are coming to Walmart because they are looking for better deals. That is good for Walmart, but it is a signal across the board that the economy is not great and people are looking for ways to save money. And I want to say for the record, the economy is not great. I think that there is certainly more motivation more opportunity for people, more belief that it can be good because it's Trump instead of Biden or Kamala Harris or any other leftist you can think of. But the costs are still high. Companies are eating the tariffs, and that's not going to last long. They're not going to eat the tariffs for forever. They are going to pass it along. Dusty on these in the chat room, one of my favorite non-troll trolls. Fresh Time sales are up too. First of all, send me the link. Let's take a look at their sales and what is actually up. And if you want to argue that food is up, we want to argue that food is more expensive. I'm going to say this again for the people in the cheap seats. The economy is not great. Why are we denying fact? You want to fight about it? Let's fight. I mean, you want to pick a street corner? That's fine. I don't think it's going to come to that. It's not great. Perceived value matters. And people certainly can be spending more at grocery stores if they're going out less to supermarkets. I mean, less to restaurants, but I'd have to see that data. The reason that the market is up 900 right now is because Jerome Powell indicated that conditions may warrant interest rate cuts. He did this in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, at the symposium it's going on there regarding the economy. The Fed meets in Jackson Hole every year. So he said, we might see this, and the market went, pew! And that's what happened. If you want to pretend that the economy is doing great, you can. I think it's crazy. Why? We don't have to do that to ourselves. We don't have to somehow signal love for Trump by saying, oh, everything's great, everything's perfect. Look what he did. He fixed it. It's not fixed. Insurance is more. Autos are more. The parts are more. This is real. So let's talk about why it's happening. Is this short term or is this long term? Will we be able to get deals out of this that create better benefit? And this will be worth it. And we haven't even really pushed everything on China yet. That needs to happen. It's okay to notice that it ain't great. And my take on Walmart is that people are going for perceived value and actual value because they see the prices as too high. And they're looking for a way to make things better. That's it. That's my take. Show me the data that challenges that. We could talk about it. Maybe you'll be right. But please do not get it twisted. What we are seeing right now in the market is because Jerome Powell gave a tease. Now let's see if he'll live up to it. I'm Tony Katz. Now, that's where I think it gets interesting. I don't know if he's going to live up to it. I said on my morning show today that I don't think Jerome Powell is going to lower interest rates. I don't think he's right. Wait, I should take that back. I totally do think he's right. I just think that people want the cut because they want to feel good. But I don't think inflation is at bay enough to make that happen. I think inflation is better. You want to talk about a place that we should be discussing, inflation is better. But not great. Not by a long shot. I think the economy is stagnant. Not great, not worse. Good chocolate is going up and up. First of all, truth, brother. See, Dusty and I have a love-hate relationship. He loves me, and I don't think about him at all. That's not true. He's a fine, fine young man. I have no idea if he's even a man. I have no idea who Dusty is, but he's in the chat often, and I appreciate it. By the way, quality dark chocolate has risen so much, I'm about to go milk chocolate. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. You stick with the dark chocolate, boo. You stick with the 72% cacao, and you love it. It's worth the money. I don't think he's going to do it. I think this is all a tease. All a tease. Just putting together, seeing else what's going on. Right there. Sorry, didn't mean to Ignore y'all. I'm not trying to ignore you. I only hope I'll be seeing you guys Saturday from Hollywood to the Heartland. Tickets.tonykatz.com. Myself, actor Nick Searcy. Some very, very cool bourbons they're bottling over there today at West Fork Whiskey, and we made the label. So I'm very, very excited about that. It's super cool. Super, super groovy. Tickets.tonykatz.com. Myself, actor Nick Searcy, from Hollywood to the Heartland. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. I mean, so this, I usually, when I do these events, I've got it together. I've got a script. It's a very much a one-man show, and I'm very interactive. The TVs are there, and there's videos, and there's other things going on. With bringing Nick in, like I didn't like vet what Nick's talking about. I'm like, here's the time frame, and then we'll do this. I've got questions afterwards. Lord knows what he's going to do. Lord knows. He did have me pull a couple of video clips, so I've got an idea of where he's going on some things. It's going to be roller coaster emotional. It's going to be really good. Tickets.tonykatz.com. Get your tickets to see that. That's this Saturday here just north of Indianapolis. And I am scheduled to be on Newsmax tonight. So that's happening, which is pretty groovy. What else do we got? What else do we know? Oh, look at that. Canada's removing tariffs on some U.S. goods. Huh. Well, if he is, let us go to that. If the Trump is going to talk, let's see what he's going to say. Yeah, it says Trump's going to make an announcement. That's what it says. Let's see what President's going to say. Coming back to it, guys. I'm glad you're here. Can't thank you enough. Good stuff. C-SPAN with the notification that President Trump is set to speak any moment. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. I'm telling you right now, this was not on the schedule today. There was nothing from the president on the schedule, no speeches, no anything. There might have been events going on at the White House and events that he was going to do in terms of very public stuff. I always follow the C-SPAN schedule. There was nothing. But right now, watching this, President Trump makes an announcement to reporters in the Oval Office that has not happened yet. It simply says the program will begin shortly. So if the president starts speaking, I will bring that to you, Producer Landon. Stay on top of that. It's a good opportunity for me to discuss why everybody talking about Cracker Barrel is completely insane and ridiculous. Cracker Barrel changed its logo. That's the story. Now, admittedly, the older logo was a little more homespun. It's got the guy in the overalls on the chair, and it's got a barrel because it is Cracker Barrel. Yeah, right? He's on the rocking chair. They've got the rocking chairs. And then it says Old Country Store. It says Cracker Barrel. Now it just says Cracker Barrel. And the guy is gone, the chair is gone, the barrel is gone, Old Country Store is gone. Everyone on social media has decided to have an opinion about this because everyone on social media has way too much freaking free time. They got nothing to do. They don't have jobs. They don't have families. They don't have to walk the dog. No, they don't have time to just go out there and dig a hole in the ground, in the dirt with a stick. No. They got time to be out there social media outraging all over the place. There's no outrage. Everyone's crazy. In the parlance, come at me, bro. I mean, it's funny when Steak and Shake is going after them. And you're like, oh my gosh. And Denny's went after them like, hey, you basically stole our logo because it's the name Cracker Barrel inside a hexagon, which is basically the Denny's logo. And like, okay, that's kind of funny. I'll go with that. Company on company, I'll appreciate it. People are upset. Oh, they went woke. Oh, they went awful. First, they changed the logo. They didn't go Jaguar. Jaguar went from, hey, we make really serious, fine crafted automobiles to, oh my God, our cars are amazing. That's what they did. And that was a terrible rebrand. They lost the plot. I'm telling you right now that if you had not seen the old Cracker Barrel logo, half of America would not have realized the logo had changed. If they could have made a logo change 6 months ago, they would not have realized it changed. The idea that people are talking about this, angry about this, upset about this, it's just too ridiculous for words. It's made up. It's not real. You cannot spend this much time on a subject this ridiculous. And it is a ridiculous, ridiculous subject. Now, people are now memeing and they're recreating the Cracker Barrel logo. And someone said the only person who could save us, and it was a picture of Sydney Sweeney in a Cracker Barrel t-shirt. I don't know if it's a real picture or not, but I approved of it. I mean, some people are having fun. But one of the big mistakes here is this idea that Cracker Barrel went woke. Now, did they change the interior, right? There's a country home equality to the thing, and I think that was supposed to be the shtick. And if you're changing that, that's a little awkward because I kind of like a changing brand, but you're more than welcome to. It is fine. Oh, that was one of the other things. Thank you, Mark, right there talking about it. He's up 5.5% on Cracker Barrel stock. Don't take stock advice from Mark. I don't know what Mark knows or doesn't know. Right? I'm just saying I don't give stock advice on the show. I own no Cracker Barrel stock that I know of. I have no financial relationship with anybody who's part of Cracker Barrel. I like to be clear about those things. Everybody was talking about how the Cracker Barrel stock, it tanked yesterday. It closed down like $3 or $4. What's wrong with everybody? It didn't tank. Everyone just made it up so they could be like, yeah, we're right and they're terrible. I forgot who wrote it. I will find it. Sarah, it's good to see you back. If you can figure out who wrote it, I'll give you a nickel. Someone was writing about woke. And right now you hear a lot of people discussing woke, which is this idea of political correctness. It's the idea of you can't say this. It's the idea of you got to be, inclusive and trans this and gay that and name your subject, and that it's dead and it's over. And South Park did the whole thing about woke being dead, and Cartman is lamenting it. I forget who it was who wrote it. And they said, you're all wrong. Woke is not dead. All it's doing is sharpening its skills, sharpening its edge, and it's going to come back even stronger. I put forth to you that I think that is accurate. That to see people fighting back against the nonsense, against the bigotry of this woke culture, of really this hateful culture, of trying to put an end to standards and boundaries and basic concepts like men are men and women are women. I'm thrilled to see that. I'm overjoyed to see that. That is valuable. But I say to you with all clarity, the idea that the left is done, the idea that the progressive stops, the idea that the Marxist all of a sudden gives up the concept of the permanent revolution. Does that make sense to you? I'm not trying to bring you down. I'm trying to let you know. that the minute I read it, I was like, yeah, isn't that right? Isn't that right? Michael Walsh, the screenwriter, the author, right? The Devil's Pleasure Palace, Fiery Angel, these conversations about Western civilization, these must-read books, talks about how the Democrats, they never sleep, they never rest, right? They never stop, they never rest, they never sleep. And because of that, and we know that to be true, why would we now think that something that is so part of them is gone? Now, this is going to relate to a very interesting story about how Democrats are now, they can't talk. I will get to that story. It was over there at Politico. Fascinating little bit. Fascinating. And it's true in the short term. This long-term thing is bigger. The president is set to make an announcement. When he does, I will bring it to you. We'll take the break right now. Keep it here. This is Tony Katz Today. Welcome back, everybody. Tony Katz. Tony Katz today. The president not speaking yet. When he does, I will let you know. And for the event tomorrow night, West Fork Whiskey, they made a barrel for us. It's so good. And here, I'll see if I can. See if I can do this. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, I can do this. I'll show you the bottle. They put us on the bottle. It's very, 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 very cool. Let me see what it is. Let's see if I can do this. I don't want to save it like that. I save it like that. That's how you do it. I'm so silly. I'm so silly. All right. Back. Good to see it. Let me see if I can do this. If I can. Nope. Those are those. That goes here. File. There it is. Oh, beauty. So they made this barrel. Oh, it's too large? What the heck? That's ridiculous. That's a bunch of hooey. How can it be too large? Let's see if I can try that. That's not going to work. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Come on. Just work. Everybody wants to see the bottle now. Nope, that's not going to. It's not going to work. These people. Sure, buy an apple, they said. Let me see if that'll do it. That's not. It's going to be garbage. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty sure it's racism. Did it work? Hold on. Hold up on the radio side. I want to see if it works. Now everybody's invested. There's the bottle. There's the bottle. From Hollywood to the Heartland. Tony Katz and Nick Searcy. Sponsors are on there. That's pretty fancy stuff. All right, now you can get back to the show. So the president, not speaking yet, they might have moved the time on this. It is still scheduled to happen, now being moved to, well, really right now. If he hasn't started already. Nope, he hasn't. That should be coming up. What he's going to talk about, I don't know. This was not on the schedule. It was not on the schedule for him to speak. But one of the things that we know happened was that the Russians hit a U.S.-owned company in the very western part of Ukraine, right next to the border of Slovakia, not too far from Poland. What I'm telling you is that it is clear and obvious that everything that took place in the meeting between President Trump and Vladimir Putin is out the window. That Trump may still believe that a deal can be made. He may want to make a deal. But this is Vladimir Putin saying, I'm not interested. It's very obvious and very clear. So could this be a response to that? Trump engaging in any level of military response would be a story, and a very large one. I don't know if that's what this is. How does that affect how one creates a deal? How do you engage a peace? Does it mean, okay, we're now going to give a lot more support to Ukraine. Have a nice day. Remember, Putin believes, and we said this before the summit, he doesn't have to stop. He can outlast Ukraine. And yes, the Russians can outlast Ukraine. And he could take the whole of Ukraine. He can outlast these people. You would need a level of a force to keep them at bay. You would need a peacekeeping force willing to fire at Russian skulls east of Kyiv. Are the Europeans in for this? Well, I would argue that they are, recognizing that the buffer is necessary. Now, they still have some issues in terms of dependence from European nations on Russia for energy, etc. And then you have Russia and the alliance with China. And of course, we discussed the issues regarding India yesterday, as China moves aggressively in the Pacific, trying to further their hegemonic hold, putting the Philippines at risk, putting Taiwan at risk, as we already know. Signaling, as they did earlier this week in the Wall Street Journal, reporting it, that they look forward to reunifying with Taiwan. Taiwan does not look forward to reunifying with China, because reunifying comes via the barrel of a gun. So where does one keep one's time is certainly a question. Do you keep it in this eastern part of Europe into Russia? Or do you keep it in the Pacific, keeping an eye on what China's doing? If you take a listen to people like Deputy Secretary, I believe it's Deputy Secretary Albridge Colby and others, the only place to be looking is China. That's it. Everything else is nonsense. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't count. I don't believe that nothing else counts. Certainly, you could rank things. I don't believe that it just doesn't count. It just doesn't matter. I think that's short-sighted in a very, very real way. But when you are Trump and you're trying to make this deal, and it's very obvious that Putin isn't going to make a deal, and Putin doesn't care if he makes a deal, and he'll lie to your face. We argued here that no rational person trusts Putin. You can't do it. Trump, I think, believes that Putin wants a deal, but Putin wants a deal on his terms, and he's going to keep going until he gets it on his terms. This involves, of course, the land. And as we stated, Europe is now come around to the idea that they're going to tell Ukraine you're going to have to give up something. And Ukraine might be very well aware of this and accepting of this to get the peacekeeping force to keep the Russians at bay so they can live their lives. Does the calculus change? Wait, you went after a U.S. facility, you knew what it was, okay. Well, now you get nothing. We're going to fortify this peacekeeping force. You're not going to get any land. We're going to push you back to owning 17% of this land. And that's it. Because we should be clear. The United States military could destroy the Russian military in 42 seconds. Destroy them. Now, I'm one of the few people who believes that the U.S. military can do the exact same thing to China. I don't know why I'm on an island here. Maybe not, because maybe it's just not an openly discussed subject. I absolutely believe that the Chinese military is a paper tiger. That when met with a direct punch to the nose, they will collapse. That everything is play, everything is pretend, nothing is real. Because they've never had a bullet fired at them, and they actually think through Dear Leader that somehow they are invincible, that they are destiny. You're only destiny until the gunfire comes back at you. Then you're a target. There's a difference between the two things. When you're destiny, everybody gets to survive into seeing the great tomorrow. When you're the target, well, let's see if you survive the day. I believe that's true about the Chinese military. But it could be that this is what this address from the Oval is about. Maybe not. You have the raid on John Bolton's home, the former national security advisor, the former ambassador to the UN. Could be about that. Could be about something we have not thought of. Could be good news, could be bad news. Could be an updating of America. A whole host of subjects. Maybe he's going to announce a trade deal. We'll have it here. But on this story of Russia and Ukraine, Putin cannot be trusted. Putin could never be trusted. And if Putin is looking for a response, it doesn't mean we should necessarily give it to him. Maybe that response should come later when Russia's not ready for it. We will see. Find everything at TonyKatz.com. Much more to get to. Keep it here. It's Tony Katz today. So the president has not yet begun speaking. When he does, I'm going to bring it to you. Now, if you ask me, I hope he does it with the radio audience still with us. Right? That's 10,000% what I want. So here's what we're going to do. The radio show is in break. I will be in break. Smoke them if you got them. We're going to be good. If the president begins speaking, I will bring it to you. We will immediately come back to it. So don't go too far. Kick back and relax. Hang loose. All right? Keep it here. We'll be back in a little bit.
Looking for
Welcome back, everybody. Tony Katz. Tony Katz today. What's going on? This is the Melanio V Robusto here from Oliva. That's what we're smoking today. This is the Hanoverian from Von Riest, R-I-E-S-T-E. They are your watch people assembled in Indiana. Brilliant, spectacular timepieces that stand the test of time. You'll pass them down through the generations. Something that lasts, something that's durable, something that actually has value. Enough of the throwaway society. Let's keep the things that we put our money into and let's make them worthwhile. Let's create value in them while we're still alive. Von Riest, R-I-E-S-T-E. Go to vonriest.com. Use promo code CATS and get your discount. They say now it will be 1 o'clock, which has come and gone, that the president will be speaking from the Oval, making an announcement. I have not seen anything that gives me a signal as to what is coming or what is going to be said, what is going to be discussed. It was supposed to be 12:30. Then it was 12:45. Now we're at 1 o'clock. And I've got nothing thus far. When we do, we'll bring it to you. I will bring you every bit of it that I can.
Looking for deck railing that's a little more refined? ViewRail has exactly what you're looking for.
I skipped the ad. It says the program will begin shortly. So that's frustrating. But knowing this White House, they could be waiting until radio gets back, which is usually 6 minutes after the hour. So it's going to come on any second. I will bring it to you because they've got it right here.
Looking for deck railing that's a little...
And it's going to be the World Cup as we know it. It's the biggest, probably the biggest event in sports, I guess, Johnny, right? Yeah. On December 5th of this year, the 2026 FIFA World Cup draw will take place at the Kennedy Center. Some people refer to it as the Trump Kennedy Center, but we're not prepared to do that quite yet, maybe in a week or so. But right here in Washington, D.C., it's a tremendous honor to bring the global event and this incredible group of people and these unbelievable athletes, the best athletes in the world, to the cultural center of our nation's capital. I just left the Kennedy Center. We're spending a lot of money wisely on making it.
The president addressing America from the Oval Office. Oh, no, it's not about Russia. It's not about world conflict.
Washington, D.C., we have the
It's
lowest
about the
crime
World's
numbers they've
Cup.
had in years. Zero.
Tony Katz.
Sounds like it's a horrible
Tony
thing to say,
Katz.
but I might
Hey,
as
let's
well
take it
say
to the president.
0 murders in the last week since we've done this. That's the first time in memory that that's happened. If you can believe it, how pathetic that is to have to even say it. And I'm tired of listening to these people say how safe it was before we got here. It was unsafe. It was horrible. And Mayor Bowser better get her act straight or she won't be mayor very long because we'll take it over.
First of all, I don't know who's messing with the volume there at the White House, but this is not good. He's wearing the Trump was right about everything hat.
We do have a lot of rats. We're getting rid of them.
He is talking about. First, he was making the announcement regarding World Cup and selection and what's going to be happening at the Kennedy Center. Then it became a conversation about D.C. Oh, come now. Not what. See? That's just it. I went through. It could be this. It could be that. I don't know what he's going to say, but what he does, we'll bring it to you. This was it.
Actually, but they have some great people there. And the Washington, D.C. is a whole.
Let's see. Can you guys hear this well?
Johnny, I'm sure you'll be happy to hear that too, actually. Oh, yes. But it's a whole different place. People are excited again. They're going out to restaurants again. That was the other thing I saw numbers. That restaurant business is down in the last week. No. Restaurant business, you can't get into a restaurant. Just really lying people. And that's why people don't understand how bad and how dishonest the press is. I saw one poll that had us at 19% favorable on what we're doing with Washington. Then I saw another one that says it's 94% favorable. And I can tell you the 94% is correct. The others are fake, just fake news. They got to get their act together. So bad for our country, so sick, actually. So Washington, D.C. is really doing unbelievably well. And the Kennedy Center that we're fix it. I was just there all morning with contractors. We're making it unbelievable. It's going to be unbelievable. It's got great bones, but it needs a lot of work. The World Cup draw will set up the group stage of competition. 48 teams will play in 104 games across 16 North American cities from Seattle to...
I'm going to slow it down right now. I'm going to let the president talk about the World Cup for a little bit. And if he's going to do a Q&A, I want to hear it. Now, I've got the volume pumped as loud as I can, and Landon, I'm going to leave the rest to you there, if you can pump it up when we bring it back to him. I will argue that he's interested in the World Cup because he's interested in putting America on that stage. Look what we could do. This is kind of it. And then, of course, you've got the Olympics regarding Los Angeles and everything else. While this is happening, there was a story that I think has gone mostly unnoticed about how the State Department is reviewing all 55 million visas in the U.S. and people who are in violation are going to be sent out. Good. Fantastic. First of all, 55 million people have valid visas. That's kind of an amazing number. I mean, crazy number. And you're going to be looking at social media, looking at a whole host of things. And if these people are in violation, they're gone. I voted for this. And I would argue you voted for this too. Well, most of you. And I want to make sure that we're always on the right page and on the same page, and we are never allowing other people to try and change the book. We're talking about illegal immigration. We're always talking about illegal immigration, not legal. All down with legal immigration, opposed to illegal immigration. And illegal immigrants, people have broken the law, people have engaged in any level of criminal activity or un-American activity as illegal immigrants, they have to go. Gone. Goodbye. See you later. I think we're all down for that. When the left wants to have this argument, they never do. They always talk about immigrants or they talk about immigration as a whole, but that's not the subject. So I want to know what leftist has an issue with the removal of illegal immigrants. If you use the word immigrant or you use the word migrant, we stop the conversation. We're talking about people who are here illegally. A review of all 55 million, first of all, that is a giant number. But yeah, good, fantastic. Let's take it back to President Trump as J.D. Vance is right next to him. And Rick Grinnell is there.
Huge impact, and the stock market is way up.
And no one's wearing a tie. Everybody's tieless today.
In U.S. economy,
We're in full Tony Khan.
185,000 American jobs. No sporting event attracts more attention or more fans or anything else. And I just look forward to the draw. So we're going to have the draw, essentially, Johnny, at the Kennedy Center. Yep. And by that time, it'll be in even better shape. We're working on it. It'll take, it's about a year project to make it. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. You see the way this is looking? Look, nice. I can't tell you how much that gold costs, a lot of money. There's nothing like gold and there's nothing like solid gold, but this beautiful office needed it. It had to be representative. When we took it over, it was dirty, not clean. I immediately changed the chair and had this beautiful desk renovated, brought out by the White House. People that do this, they did a great job. We sent it out. We have a craftsman who's great. God. But this was not appropriate for the Oval Office, what I took over. And now you look at all those paintings you're allowed to turn back. All of these are great presidents, and they were all in the vaults. They were in vaults for some cases much more than 100 years. And now they're proudly hanging on the Oval Office walls. And I can't imagine anybody changing it. But they were buried in vaults for over 100 years, many of them.
Next president's
so
totally going to change.
People come in, they really
That's
love
happening.
It. They love what we're doing.
If the president starts taking
here,
questions, I'll bring it to you
DC,
here.
And they love what we're doing, most importantly, in the country and the world. I'd like to ask Johnny to say a few words. He's the head of the whole thing.
Unbelievable.
He's been there for a long time.
We're going to leave it on this and see what he has to say.
Sports. He's amazing, actually. Works very hard, and he's got the biggest event in the world coming right here to the United States. And we did a little for Canada, we did a little for Mexico. We thought, see, I'm a good citizen. I said, let them have a little piece. So we gave a little to Canada, see how nice I am? And we gave a little bit to Mexico. And Johnny, please say a few words.
Thank you, President. Great honor for me to be here with you today, President, Vice President, Excellencies. Fantastic to announce what you said, which is the final draw of the FIFA World Cup on the 5th of December here in the capital, in the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. at 12 noon sharp. It will be broadcast live all over the world. 1 billion viewers will watch it. And it will determine, of course, the match schedule, which 48 participating teams will play. You said it, 104 matches in 1 month, 104 Super Bowls. This is not just the biggest, the greatest event, not just a sports event, it's a social event as well, with a lot of emotion. We are uniting the world, Mr. President, uniting the world here in America, and we are very proud of that. And those teams, those national teams who will come here to participate in this draw with their coaches, with their presidents, they will all be proud to be part of writing this history. And that's why we brought as well this, which is the winner's trophy. It is the trophy that the winner of the FIFA World Cup wins. Only the FIFA presidents of countries, and then those who win can touch it, because it's for winners only. And since you are a winner, of course, you can as well touch it. It's pretty heavy. Yeah. It's the winner trophy. The last one who lifted that is Lionel Messi of Argentina. And here it is in the Oval Office.
It's just too much.
The White House.
Can I keep it?
What do you? Well, you can keep it.
We're not giving it back. That's serious.
It fits well.
That goes very well on the wall right over there. We'll put it right below the angels.
It fits well here.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
You can keep it until we have to give it to the next winner.
That's fine. That's a beautiful piece of gold, I will say. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So 6 billion viewers for the World Cup.
I mean,
6 million coming to the matches.
Pick a Democrat who can do that. And you're like, well, what is that? The point is exactly.
5,000 jobs.
It's this just
absolutely
crazy,
fantastic. The biggest event,
kind of intangible.
And everything will start here in Washington, D.C. at the Kennedy Center.
Like he's having a good time.
See that how it will be called on the 5th of September at noon sharp. 5th of December, noon sharp. Then, if I may...
Will they be doing most of the draws, all of the draws at the Kennedy? Well, how are you going to do that?
Yes, we'll do that at the Kennedy Center. We'll do all the other meetings around it with the coaches, with the broadcasters, with the sponsors, everything at the Kennedy Center. The whole World Cup starts, and everyone will be happy because everyone...
30 seconds before we're back to the show.
They didn't play a game, so they didn't lose the other game. So they all think they can become world champions.
Kristi Noem is there, Rick Grinnell is there.
Now,
by the way, an example,
Vice President.
Supposing we had a week ago when everybody was being killed and mugged and everything else, despite the phony numbers that were given out, that it was getting better. Brian, do you believe it was getting better or getting worse?
Oh, the crime was getting worse. I mean, I was robbed. It was getting way.
How did the other guy come out?
He came out with a briefcase.
With your briefcase.
Robert 1, Brian 0.
No, but can you imagine you do this and then you start hearing that they had a 20-year reduction of crime. It's worse. It was worse during the Biden administration.
So President Trump is still in the Oval. They're talking about the World Cup. The FIFA president shared with him the FIFA World Cup trophy, which is right now just sitting in front of him. He's like, oh, this is a lot of gold. You know, it'll look really good on the wall right there next to the Eagles. It'll look just great. And I think he was serious. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. The vice president is there. Rick Grinnell is there. Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, is there. A whole host of people are there. And the FIFA president just moved the trophy out of the way so the cameras would be unobstructed looking at the president. The president answered questions about D.C., safety and security, a host of other things. Let's take it back to him.
You can get a reservation, which I doubt.
They're all full, the restaurants.
I know. They're all full. I heard that too. The restaurants aren't. The restaurants, since we are doing this, are doing great. And many new restaurants are going to open because, as you know, many closed. Many restaurants closed because the crime was so bad. This will be one of the safest places anywhere on earth. So, I really am honored that the National Guard has done such an incredible job working with the police.
He's wearing a Rolex Daytona.
And we haven't had to bring in the the regular military, which we're willing to
That's
do.
what she's
We have
wearing.
to. And after we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one. But they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please. I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something to happen. So I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York, and we're going to help with. And I think a lot of these people that you see on television, they are, including the people in this audience, they'll say bad things about me, and then they'll say, thank God he's here, because half of them got mugged, and they don't want to get mugged again. But they're, they work for stupid people that are radical left, and they're made to do things and say things that they don't want to be saying. But the people right here are all happy because you're not going to be mugged in Washington, D.C. anymore. I just want to say Johnny's been my friend for a long time. He's an incredible guy, and we will lay out the red carpet. Andrew, you're going to be fantastic. Rick is going to be everything Rick ever touched has always worked out, and he's working with me on the Kennedy Center. And his very good friend was an actor on Broadway for 5 years, right? And I assume he's helping us a little bit, right?
Yes.
And Andrew, you're all excited about it?
Absolutely.
Would you like to say something?
This is a great opportunity, Mr. President, to show off the first 250 years of the United States of America, the greatness, and then the hope and promise of the next 250 years. When you think this World Cup is going to be over our 250th birthday, Mr. President, your leadership, obviously, with FIFA leading the way, this is the largest sporting event in the history of the world under the Trump administration. So very excited.
I just want to say one thing. Andrew Giuliani, so his father is Rudy, the greatest mayor in the history of New York, I think by far. He took a ravaged city, a city that was really under siege. Probably most people thought it was going to survive. He turned it around. He was a great, great mayor. And then they treated him very, very unfairly. You go back and tell your father all of the things that have come out over the last couple of months through Tulsi and through all of the people, Cash, everybody. They've proven your father 100% correct. His father was treated so unfairly. Your father has been 100% correct. And tell him we all love him, okay?
Thank you, Mr. President.
It's been amazing.
That is outrageously personal and an incredible statement. Because with Rudy Giuliani, certainly we could talk about the changes to New York under him, and then we can get into the concepts of what he did when he was working with President Trump. Not everything was perfect. So that is a statement of rehabilitation. Speaking there to Andrew Giuliani, who is working on the Kennedy Center and things with FIFA World Cup, that is a really large statement being made there, a supportive statement of Giuliani, because this is the first time I've seen President Trump speak of Rudy Giuliani in 2 years, maybe more. Now the vice president is speaking.
Back, if their leadership is willing to put in the time and the resources, Mr. President, you've shown in Washington, D.C. that we can have safe streets again. We've just got to have the political willpower to focus on the bad guys and to give the American people back their communities. We are focused on doing that, thanks to the president's leadership.
Thank you. And that's a really very small percentage. It's 2%, 3%, but that 2% and 3% wreaks just havoc throughout a community. People are petrified, and I notice a couple of the women in the back are shaking their head, yes, yes, yes. I won't report who you are because you'll end up losing your jobs, but it's true. It's amazing. And the police, and you look at the D.C. National Guard, I saw pictures of them last night getting off vans and all, and I saw some bad ones running, but they're not running so much anymore. They're not there. They're just not even, they're not even trying. You're totally safe. Now, there'll be something happening sometime. I don't know. Maybe it won't be for a long time, but this was every night would get reports of people being mugged and there's one woman on television last night. She had a badly busted up nose. And she said, well, I like our streets the way they used to be. And she thinks it's going to happen like by doing nothing. And they said, what happened to your nose? She got slugged by a guy walking down the street, slugged. Her nose will never be the same, I guarantee you, unless it takes a pretty good turn. She wasn't really for us. And she sort of said, well, maybe something has to happen. Before this happened to me, she got whacked. And I don't think she'll ever be the same. She was a half a Trump fan, a woman that would have never been a Trump fan, but she was hit hard. It's not going to happen anymore. Not going to happen anymore. But then we're going to beautify the city too. That's where I was today at Kennedy Center. And we're going to beautify the city like it has it. And we're working with Clark Construction, the biggest construction company in Chicago, and New York, and Washington. And the head of Clark is great. He's all over the world, actually. But Washington, I would say, is their home. That's where they do the best work, the biggest work. And they've been doing a fantastic job. So you're going to have a fantastic, clean, beautiful place. It's going to be better than it ever was before, literally better than it ever was before. We'll get it done very quickly. And I want to thank Clark because they're doing a lot of work.
Now, he was bragging about the cleanup, bragging about what they're doing in DC. And that is a bold move because you have to be able to show success. You have to have the success to back it up. And so when these news organizations put out, well, only 18% agree, 80% don't like what Trump's doing. The number was so outrageously ridiculous, it became unbelievable from the word go. Impossible to believe that 80% of DC was like, no, get out of DC. We preferred the crime ridden. That's crazy town. That is a crazy, crazy thought. Why would Democrats go down this road? And right now, the FIFA director, president, giving President Trump his ticket to attend the final match.
Getting your tickets.
That's beautiful.
01,
6.5, 7 million tickets.
President Donald Trump.
Fans will enjoy the security.
July
here.
19th, 2026.
You're going to do record business, I think.
100%.
Christy, would you like to say something?
Yeah, Mr. President, millions of people will come to this country, and we'll make sure they get their travel documents, their visas, that they want to come here and spend their money and enjoy the sporting event. It'll be the largest event in the world. And sir, you're reminding me of something that my dad used to say all the time when I was growing up. He would say, Christy, you kids need to look like you respect yourself before anybody's going to respect you. And in this country, when people look at our streets, when they look at our Capitol, you're bringing respect back to this city. And people will respect our country more because it's safe, it's clean, it's beautiful. And what you're doing is transforming this nation by making sure that our laws are upheld. And millions of people are going to come and be able to enjoy it next year.
That's the whole concept regarding broken windows. When you don't clean up the blight, it breeds the discontent. It breeds the discord. It matters. You show and you put forward a cleanliness. You put forward a standard, and then you make people uphold the standard. Why is it that Chick-fil-A is so successful in terms of how it treats customers, and McDonald's is so reviled? It's the standard. Here's what we do. This is what we expect. This is what we uphold. And you either live up to it or you don't. So there is something to that. And this is true when you see states talking about their big cities, their capital cities, and them being a problem. People don't like the fact that how the capital of a state goes, that state very often goes in that direction, but it is true. It's not to be denied, it's to be embraced. It doesn't mean that the capital city is the only city. It means that you want that showplace to work and to be successful and to provide that vision that then is seen as, well, then the rest of the state must be like this. That stuff matters. It matters greatly. So the president is going to continue talking about FIFA. I can't believe, by the way, the ticket number. Did you guys see this? The ticket number is 45/47 down there in the bottom left. 4547. Oh, that's well done. Whoever made that, Well done. Well played right there. While this is going on, I don't know if the president's going to be answering questions much longer. We will move forward. The Democrats got some weird advice, fascinating advice about things not to say. If you really want to connect with people, don't say these things. The problem, of course, is that if they are to be listened to, this think tank, if they're to be listened to, and you Democrats say, okay, we won't say these things, Democrats wouldn't be able to say anything at all. We're talking about all the favorite buzzwords, all the favorite catchphrases, all the ways they go after you and attack you and vilify the nation. It's something. Now, I'm going to share that list with you, along with what happened on the campaign trail of a lieutenant governor running for governor in Virginia named Winsome Sears. You will think I made it up. I just don't have this level of insidiousness. Not a progressive. More to get to. Keep it here. This is Tony Katz today. So the president's going to continue there, and I think that's going to be moving on. I'm going to get moving on. I appreciate you guys so very, very much. Thank you for being here this week. I hope I'll get to see you tomorrow in Westfield, Indiana. Tickets.tonykatz.com. Tickets.tonykatz.com. From Hollywood to the Heartland, myself and actor Nick Searcy. It's going to be something else. It is going to be a stupendous night. The bourbon, the cigars. Oh, did you see the? Look at that. Look at that. We got our own bottle right there. Look at that. From Hollywood to the Heartland, Tony Katz and Nick Searcy. It's going to be incredible. Get your tickets. Tickets.tonykatz.com. Tickets.tonykatz.com. Do that. Come be a part of the event. I only hope to see you there. I appreciate you. The show, the radio show will continue at WIBC.com. You can live stream it there, WIBC.com. Do that, and we'll continue the conversation. Guys, can't thank you enough. Really and truly do appreciate you, and I will catch you all tomorrow, everyone. All right? All right. There it is. That's all I've got. Oh, not tomorrow. Monday. Unless I see you on Saturday, which I hope I do. Take care.